Hello. Sorry about that. Hello, my little rookeries. How are you today, this afternoon, tonight, early morning, midday? Hello. Dusted and out of the way. Let's start this stream. And let us continue with our mission. Alrighty. By Ares Asia Holdings. For years, the Yellow Lotus and the Red Dragons have been locked in a cold war. Despite this, we remain evenly matched. Neither one of us can attack the other without being exposed to devastating reprisals. Lou wants to change this, and he has a plan. Rather than striking directly, Lou intended to aim external forces at the Red Dragon, specifically Knight Errant. He intends to frame a white paper fan named Golden Fong, making it appear that the Red Dragon had been bribing Ares researchers for classified data. Two leading drone and energy weapons research have recently transferred from London to Hong Kong and are running the project. Doctors Taylor and Hardingham were respected in Europe, but in Hong Kong they remain unknown quantities. They're untrusted, and therefore are considered untrustworthy. Perfect targets, in other words. We will provide data that will make it look as if the researchers were contacted by Golden Fong and made quite a bit of money, but grew tired of the arrangement. Transfer the attached files to the data chip. The files are bundled with Worm program, which will auto-execute when inserted into the appropriate system. You need not bring a decker though, one may be helpful. You will need to plant data in the visitor record system, the camera system in Hardingham, and Taylor's lab. Financial data is to be transferred to Dr. Taylor's personal terminal. That in and of itself will not be enough to ensure Knight Errant involvement. However, planting the data is only the first part of your task. There is where a heavier touch will be required. You will also need to steal the prototype laser weapon. There is a GPS tracking device attached to it, which Lou will plant deep in Red Dragon territory. The apparent theft of the prototype weapon by a disgruntled Triad member should convince Eddies to dispatch overwhelming force against the Red Dragon, dealing them a vicious blow. As a note, Lou does not care what become of the laser weapon. If you wish to sell it or keep it, feel free. I also have attached a map of your extraction route from the building. During the facility's expansion in 2052, Ares Asia was forced to extend their foundations deeper into the island. They drove piles through the former site of the central MTR station, which partially collapsed during the Deluge Bay earthquake of 2044. Practically, this means that you can exit through the basement directly into the new MTR line through Central. With any luck, you can be gone without anyone knowing. Unfortunately, this route is heavily alarmed, so you will be forced to go in the front door. You can con the front desk. You should have no problems. The facility is both an office and a residence, so strange people coming and going at odd hours is not unusual. If you're not up for the task, however, be prepared to shoot your way in. Lou does not care if you're loud or quiet, but a word of caution, he came by all of this information via the loose lips of one research team. Other fixers know of this job. Move fast and you are guaranteed success. But there are definitely other Shadowrunners with an eye on your prize. Let's go on this one. Let's break in, steal a laser, get some information, and probably steal the laser for ourselves. Very well. Still Arm Lul sends his regards and bids you good fortune and plentiful ammunition. The dramatic gift. Don't die, Lady Nightbot. Our arrangement has been very profitable so far, and I would hate to lose that. Alright, we have another job. As you move aboard the train, the PDA buzzes. Ractor, answer the comms. His craggy face flickers on the screen. My friend, there is something that I would like to discuss with you. Something related to the Ares run that you recently accepted. Go on, I'm listening. There are men, former colleagues of mine, at the facility. I tracked them here from Russia. They are thieves that stole my research. Tracking them is the reason why I moved to Hong Kong in the first place. At long last, I can recover what's mine and bring the villains who stole it to justice. But I will need your help to do it. I need you to bring me along for the job. Of course. Thank you, my friend. I will be there directly. You will not regret this decision, I guarantee. The line goes dead. Misdirection. Central Hong Kong spills out along the Victoria Harbour. All glittering chrome and neon flash against the night's darkness. The skyscrapers are a jagged nest of mirrored knives thrusts into the sky, rendering the clouds as they ascend into the heavens. The Ares Asia holding complex squats menacingly over Chatter Road, a steel and concrete tumor intertwined with nearby buildings in a web of sky bridges and shared parking structures. You make your way inside. The ascent to the fifth floor, a public foyer that connects to the restricted areas of the complex. As the elevator opens, you arrive in cold, dimly lit reception area. Beyond it, your quarry awaits. Game autosaved. Exiting the Ares Asia Holdings elevators on the fifth floor of the skyscraper complex, the antiseptic odor of the megacorporation office assails your nostrils. The immaculate detail interior speaks volumes of the wealth and the control the North American industrial giant has come to wield over the free enterprise zone. Ractor glances at his bracer, pulling up a page of notes in his Ares Asia Holdings and scrolling through it. We're looking for a lab between floor 15 and 40. Everything below 15 is a shopping and recreation, and the residential areas span 41 to 92. The auto repair circuit should be up here as well. I know Taylor and Hanningham. I'll keep it close to their main lab so they can work on the project in their off hours. And they'll need specialized testing equipment, things that you can't fit into an apartment, even a big one. So everything we're looking for will be near the main lab? Yes. Once we plant the altered visitor record data, we can find the lab's precise location. From there, everything we need should be nearby. Alrighty. Welcome to Ares Asia's Holding, a division of Ares Macro Technology. How may I assist you? Etiquette Corporation. I've got a meeting on this 36th floor with Matrix R&D. Ah, I see. Would you like me to call Division Director Wong to escort you? I've already done that. We've got a milestone review meeting that started 10 minutes ago. As you wish, please, go right ahead. You'll have to stay on this floor until someone comes to escort you upstairs. The reception quickly taps on his computer, adding you to the list of registered guests. If there's anything Ares Asia Holdings can do to assist you in your business, feel free to message the front desk at any time. Alright, so let's have a look here. Ah, I know exactly what's going on here. Let's go to the vents. The vent could fit a drone through it. Absent that, there's not much you can do with this. Send in one of the team's drones. So if we go here, and control. Go into the vents. Power conduit. The power conduit is labeled elevator control and power. A series of tangled cables and wires lead in and out of the junction box as if it's been patched and repaired many times. I noticed tape to the side of the box. For God's sakes, don't touch anything in here without contacting me first. This box is the most temperamental piece of crap I've ever had to work with. If anything gets unplugged, the elevator system will go down, and take the security card readers with it. Why did we spend all the new yen on improving security if everyone has to take the stairs? The drone could fairly easily rip out some of these cables, rendering the elevator and employee ID cards readers inoperable until repaired. Let's cut it. The drone tears out several of the elevator power and control cables, and the number of diagnostic lights begin flashing red. It looks like you're going to be taking the stairs for the time being. Oh, is there anything in here? Oh my! Someone's left an unattended computer. Alrighty, this seems like a pretty simple one to get through. All I really gotta do is... yoink. Thank you very much. Ah yes, another fun one to get through. Alright, so first of all, that spot is as safe as I can get. Alright, so I've managed to plan that out. Just a little bit twitchy from, oh god, oh god, oh god. Come on, come on. Yes! Oh, really? That's unfortunate. Oh, is that a... yeah, there's a security bot there. Well, what about you? 41%. Don't have high hopes, but I can always try. Oh, I did not see that one there. Well, this is slightly unfortunate. 1, 2, 0 at this point. Hey, that one hit. That's 70%. That's better than nothing. G on the left. There we go. Elevator override. Oh. Browse the information on Ares Asia Holding. The contents of the page consist primarily of marketing jargon, smiling corporate citizens, and a lot of information about the relatively recent incorporation of Ares Asia Holdings. Unfortunately, there's very little of value here unless you have the interest in stock photographs and corporation jingoism. Let's have a look at her. Isabella rattles out a few lines of code and the machine beeps softly. You know, I'd expect Ares employees to be more careful with security data, but I guess no one's perfect. From the inside of the machine's secure storage, you can access recent emails and recent project updates. Read email. Most of the email is boring, lunch plans, updates on hardware requests, complaints about office lighting, and things of that nature. One thread catches your eye though. I don't know why you're having such difficulty understanding our matrix upgrades, Chung. I've given you the bypass codes for the blocker IC at least 3 times already. Maybe you should write them down or something? Anyway, here they are again. These codes should allow you to bypass the blocker IC in our secure data store, and also the security scheduling. Don't sass me, Corporal. I wouldn't have been in this situation if you hadn't been promising the Matrix upgrade would be complete next week for the past 6 months. After 4 months of waiting, I stopped thinking about it. Now every time I make a pull request from our depot, the damn IC gets in my persona's face and demands another set of passcodes. Thank you for bypass codes though. I'll write them on the back of my hand or something. Dr. Chung, Ares Asia Research. I understand your concerns, Director, but you should be aware that all divisions of Ares Microtechnology have been ordered to support Project 2231 where possible. Dr. Taylor and Dr. Hanningham are particularly interested in testing the prototype in support of Project 2231. I am simply requesting enough manpower to find suitable subjects to test the prototype against. The risk involved in local research is unacceptable at this time. This is the entire reason the bulk of 2231 relative research takes place at the complex 668G. And why 68G is in the middle of the frozen tundra? I would be willing to divert additional engineers for Taylor and Hanningham's project if they would be willing to create another prototype with the intention of shipping it to the complex 68G. Dr. Hui, Ares Asia Finance. I'll talk to them about it, Director. If you think it's not possible in any other way, I'll talk to them about it, Director. If you think it's not possible any other way, I'll impress that upon them. Dr. Chang, Ares Asia Research. From inside the machine secure storage, you can access recent... Open the door. Oh my. The public terminal. This is the public Matrix terminal for guests and visitors. Its primary function appears to be directory and news services, as well as basic emails. This is also a perfect terminal for you to upload the faked visitor records. Alter the visitor records. You slip the data chip into a port on the public terminal and let the worm go to work. After several seconds, the chip flashes green. Now, Ares Asia Holdings records show that Golden Fong has visited on several occasions in the past. Search for Dr. Taylor. Dr. Taylor P. Taylor. Taylor Parasasia, Hong Kong Central, HKFEZ. Drone Automation Division, Floor 27. Dr. Taylor has transferred to the Hong Kong offices of Ares Asia Holding from his previous post in London, where the Ares Europe Dr. Taylor's research focused primarily on drone weapons technology. Although previous work has centered on cryogenics technology and the impact of the Matrix on social structures and human development. Dr. Taylor is joint chair of the Ares Asia Drone Research Laboratories with Dr. Ian Hardingham. Current projects include expansion of the Hangzhou Bay Tidal Power System, a proposal to expand the Hong Kong MTR maintenance program, and further research into machine learning. Dr. Hanningham. Dr. Hanningham I. Hanningham I at Ares Asia, Hong Kong Central, Hong Kong FEZ. Advanced Drone Weaponry Division, Floor 27. Stupid dogs. Dr. Hanningham has transferred to the Hong Kong offices of Ares Asia Holdings from his previous post in London with Ares Europe. Dr. Hanningham holds advanced degrees in weapons design, mechanical engineering, and holds several patents in the field of artificial intelligence research. Current research. As joint of the Asia Drone Research Laboratories, Dr. Hanningham's duties are primarily related to the research and development of new artificial intelligence solutions that will keep Ares Macro Technologies competitive in this rapidly changing world. While the specific work of the Drone Research Laboratories is classified, previous efforts have been centered around self-repairing machinery, robotic game theory, and collective machine learning. Excellent, Lady Nightbot. We have arrived. Rector straightens himself up, smoothing out the front of his jacket. We should make certain to find the auto-repair prototype while we're here. I'm sure it'll be around here somewhere. Good. Then it won't be too much work to pick it up on our way. Thank you very much for the assistance. Nah. Game saved. Sweet. Save status. Locked. There was a small keycard slot on the side of the safe. A red light softly glows next to it, indicating the safe is still locked. Well, crud, I'm not getting that the easy way, am I? Open the door. Security systems. This server cluster handles the local records and systems from floor 27. Undoubtedly, the building-wide system backup this data. But anything occurring here will be fed to the larger Ares Asia server. This makes it a perfect place to upload the worm and fake camera footage. Let's upload it. A few moments later, the chip flashes a green light, indicating the camera footage for floor 27 will now show footage of the Golden Fong meeting with Dr. Taylor and Hanningham. Appears to have an open port for cyberdeck. Let's go. There is a barely audible click of the door unlocks. Taylor's computer. Use Dr. Taylor P. User Dr. Taylor P. Ares Asia Holdings wishes you a productive day. Plant financial data. After a few moments, the data chip's light flashes green, indicating the data has been uploaded. Door code. They've changed the door code while you're out on vacation. The chips got a little fried when someone forgot to close the shutter in the laser lab when they were testing one of the new emitters. It's 23847. Project 2231. H. One of the researchers downstairs hit me up in a meeting about supporting something called Project 2231. Its headquarters in the Algonquin Manteo Council, some godforsaken black site called Complex 68G. I guess it was something to do with that debacle in Chicago, research into cleaning up the CEZ and whatnot. I thought it'd be nice if we could give them a hand. Just lend them the prototype or the specs. Let them test the laser out there. Taylor. I think we got all the information we need. 23847. Submit. Barely audible click. Hardingham's computer. User Dr. Haddingham 1. Haddingham I. Ares Asia Holdings wishes you a productive day. Project records. Redline. Prototype director active. Authorized users only. Remember, security is everyone's business. Enter inquiry. Power output. Preliminary reports aren't good. We can miniaturize the aperture and emission array from the MP Laser 3, and it's definitely possible to get it down to a handheld size, but that's never been a problem. Energy density is the core concern. Our batteries just ain't up to snuff if we shrink them down to pistol size. Without the MP Laser Battery 3's battery pack, we'll be lucky if we ever find a way to break 6 or 7 shots. It's a terrible problem, and one of the boys over in material science has been dragging their feet on. I've been checking into using some of the new dual-phase batteries, but the cost seems prohibitive. I've made a note to Dr. Hui, asking if we could get some help from Ares Arms Europe. The Firelance research teams had a great deal of headway using staged graphene capacitors. Maybe there's something we could learn from them. Hanningham. Security briefing. Attention. Ares Asia Holdings employees and residents. Last week, Knight Errant officers responsible for the security of this facility received several reports of suspicious activity in the public area of the building. At 13:31 last Tuesday, security footage shows a troll approximately 20 to 28 years of age entering the public mezzanine areas of the building. The subject was seeming to attempt to gain access to a restricted area. The subject exited the facility before Knight Errants could intercept and question him. Reports from the area citizenry indicates that the subject was asking about... I'll keep reading it. Indicates that the subject was asking about research labs working on directory energy weapons. Several hours later, the subject was seen re-entering the building from a side entrance, wearing a custodial uniform. Knight Errant guards attempted to detain the subject, but during their arrest attempts, both guards were severely injured. Any employee or resident should contact security immediately if they see a troll. Do not attempt to detain or interact with him in any way. The subject is considered highly dangerous. There seems to be a note attached from the Knight Errant security. Dr. Hanningham, it's our belief that the troll we've recorded is interested in the research you and Dr. Taylor are undertaking. As such, we will be providing extra security for your off-site team building exercise. Please be extremely careful when not within the facility. Your research and person are under threat at the moment. Wait, hold on. Drone integration. These appear to be Dr. Hanningham's notes on attaching the prototype to security drones. Things proceed apace. Assuming a standard medium drone like the Inquisitor or Rover 99230 model, the drone provides sufficient power to enable the prototype effectively unlimited bursts, though there's a 30-second charge time if the capacitors are drained rapidly. The small size of the emitter lens also means that the prototype can be mounted modularly or internally as the platform dictates. For smaller drone sizes, the output is more restrictive but still valuable. Charge times increase to between 2 to 5 minutes, assuming standard battery power. This does unfortunately reduce the drone's loiter time. Each shot reduces the loiter time by approximately 2.5 minutes, more than enough for a sustained engagement, but something we'll want to keep an eye on. I believe we can increase efficiency in these cases by including a supercooling medium, liquid nitrogen or the like, to reduce the heat pump draw from the power systems. Maybe something like we work out for the Sentinel P series berths. Dr. Hanningham. Emails. Oh, this one. Do nothing. So I feel like we really didn't get much from this. Knight Errant, guard. Hey, who the hell are you? I don't recognize you. Which means you sure as hell don't work on this floor. What's your business here? Pull out your weapon. Intruder! We've got an intruder in here. And there she goes. Nice. Well, at least it's a critical hit. Crit. And another crit. Ractor. Ractor peels intensely at his bracer as he scans the room with it. I think that's the last of the security on this floor. But it won't be long before reinforcements arrive. They'll sure to notice when the soldiers stop checking in. I just hope we can be gone before they realize we were even here. I don't like the idea of Knight Errant tracking us back to the bolt hole. Duncan wearily looks over his shoulder. The last thing we need is a bunch of armed soldiers coming to where we live. That's unlikely, thankfully. Of all the megas, Ares has the best relationship with the shadowy community. They'll kill us, to be certain. But their management understand that we perform the necessary service. When they The one that they pay for with great regularity. The other Shadowrunners huddle up. Their voices are loud enough that you can hear them, even through the glass doors. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. Christ on a crutch! That was nasty. The orc wipes sweat from his brow and back of his hand. Y'all, is that the last of them? Looks like it, Bill. My C-12 wrecked the stairwell, so we're safe from backup via this route. He hands the canteen to a human woman next to him. Dizzy, how you doing? Taking a long drink from the canteen, the woman breathes a deep sigh of relief from tossing it back to Jarl. Remind me again why we went to the executive level before getting into the lab. I'm all for a brawl, but pulling 4 Knight Errant adepts off of Opti isn't my ideal party. Dizzy points an accusatory finger at the shaman. You, sir, need to practice your martial arts. Opti raises his hands placently. We had to go there, Dizzy. Without the keycards to get into the lab, we're as good as dead. Bill could have hacked the door, but his deck got slagged after you threw that rigger into him and broke his concentration. Continue listening. Okay. We'll have plenty to blame the place later. Right now, we're going to get the hell out of here. Nab that prototype and clear out before they get more soldiers down to this level. Bill tilts his head to one side and then the other. Each time, a rippling pop runs down his spine. We've got a job to do, people, so let's get cracking. The runner named Jarl seems to have noticed you. Finally, he gestures in your direction. Hey, Bill. Look what we've got some company in the lab. Turning around, the Orc Decker regards you quizzically. Son of a bitch. Guess you guys were the first. Tell you what, we'll come in there and we can talk this over. Bill waves an RFD keycard at the door, but it only buzzes in denial. He glances at you at the keycard in irritation and he turns his eye to you. Hey, would you mind letting us in? I'd rather not be trapped in here when the Knight Errant's back up. No, I don't think so. Not until you tell me what you're doing here. Probably the same thing as you. The lab has a laser prototype, yeah? That's what we're here for. It just looks like you got to it first. Opti glances over his shoulder nervously. Do you think we can have this conversation inside? Not yet, you can't. You throw some C-12 down a stairwell, and now you want to get in here with us? Duncan shakes his head vehemently. I'm not letting anybody in here until I know we're not gonna be collateral damage. Thanks. Given the shitstorm we've set off by going to the executive penthouse first, we probably have a few minutes. They'll be too busy trying to figure out what we were doing up here. Jarl runs his hand through his hair and shrugs. Hardingham and Taylor's apartments were pretty trashed, so we'll have to figure out where really after before they can respond again. Why were you up in the executive penthouse? We've gotten some intel that Hardingham and Taylor would be out tonight, so they had secure safe down here. We figured that would be where they kept the prototype, and the key would also work on the lab door. Bill looks mournfully at the keycard in his hand. If wishes were fishes, look there. Looks like we made the wrong move, heading up there first. Raptor gives you a significant look. He speaks quietly so that only you can hear him. I know Taylor and Hardingham. That key is almost certainly for the private safe where they're keeping the auto repair security. We need to let these runners in so I can get that key. Let's find out if they're willing to give up the key. You gesture at Bill, getting his attention. Yeah? You made your decisions yet? I'm getting kind of nervous out here. I need that key card you got. Well, I don't know what it goes to, but it sure as hell doesn't get us into that lab. Sure, I guess. Gimme! Jarl nods in appreciation once the other teams is safely inside the lab. Thanks a lot. We would have been cut apart out there. Never let yourself get backed into the corner, you know? Sounds like something went wrong. Bill's deck got slagged by some sparky IC. We got surprised by a rigger coming out of the hallway. I did a hip throw on him, but his body hit the jackpot Bill was using. Something kind of surge hit. The system went to red alert. Before we knew it, Red Errant was crawling all over us. Rookie mistake, honestly. If I'd set up the redundant signal filter, I'd have had an extra split second when the jack got fritzed. As I tripped some tar baby IC, and before I could get free of the system, it was lit up like a Christmas tree. Here, catch. This keycard is worthless to me. Bill tosses you the card he was attempting to use on the door. Thank you. Now, wait a minute. I recognize you. You're Lady Nightbot, right? Your name's all over the shadows of Hong Kong. From what I hear, you've been doing a lot of work with Kindly Cheng. Well, damn. Blinking a few times, Dizzy looks you over. There's a touch of awe in her voice when she speaks. I didn't expect to run into such heavy hitters on our first run out here. You have me at a disadvantage. Who are you? I'm Dizzy. The guy with the rifle is the Jarl. Dizzy's stage whispers at you, cupping her hand next to her mouth. We tried to use the definitive article. It sounds silly. The Jarl, or the Jarl, whichever is nonplussed by Dizzying's antics. It's a title, Dizzy. It deserves a the before it. Dizzy gestures at the shaman and the orc. Those two are Opti and Bull, magic and tech support. So, you ever heard of us? And say I have. Well, I'm the best orc decker you've never met. That's the important bit. We need to get moving, though. KE will be here any minute. Not so fast. What about the prototype? Bill shakes his head and snorts crudely. We can argue about this here, or we can try to get out of here before we get killed. If it makes you feel better, you hang on to it until we get out of harm's way. Duncan nods in approval. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I just want to get out of here. Listen, what's your way out? We have going to rappel over to the Federal Boeing building next door, but with all the racket, well, I think we probably get shot off the line. We're going to the underground. We're going to the underground. Down an elevator shaft and over to MTR station. I didn't even know that that was there. Should have done better legwork before we got here. Bull reloads his pistol, snapping it back into the holster with a loud click. We'll follow. More guns couldn't hurt, right? You lead the way. We'll be right behind you. Suddenly there was a blare of alarms. Red lights click overhead in accompaniment to the noise. You also hear a sudden hissing sound, rather like a tire deflating, and with the sound comes an acidic odor hanging in the air. They're gassing us. Look over there. It's coming out of the van. If my deck wasn't fried, I'd be able to jack in and stop it. I hope you brought a decker or some drones. If you haven't, we're gonna get out of here fast. Just let me... the game has been saved. We'll have to go here as well. Sorry, Izzy. Alrighty. I know I'm sending in the drone, but at the same time, I don't want to leave it to just one. I want to be able to carry some of them. So there's number one. Oh shit! No. Okay. Oh shit! 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 Oh nope! 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 Okay. Apparently that worked. I need to wait a little bit. There we go. Thank you, sir. There's another gas thing. Haha. Let's just force it. And that should be all the, yep, all the gas shut off. Let's bring you here. Swiping the keycard across the slot, the safe lets out a beep and then light flashes green. As the door swings open, the contents are revealed. A stack of chips and plexiglass cube containing a tangle of drone parts. With a deft grab, you scoop up the goods. For a small kid that did... He worked for... And so what happened with the corpse, or working with... And then we'll escape. Oh, damn it. Oh well. Always next time. You exit the service elevator and step out into the dimly lit basement. You hear no sounds of alarms, nor shouting. But it's only a matter of time before night errants catch up with you. The basement smells of mold and stale air. Faint vibrations run through the floor and walls every few moments, evidence of MTR trains passing nearby. That was closer than I would have liked. You! Dizzy hunches over, hands on her knees as she pants excitedly. She strains as she calms down. Chalk it up to things that I don't want to do again. Get gassed while trying to escape from the Knight Errant. Back up, Dizzy. At least your fists and feet could hurt those bastards. I swear to God I could never run against Ares again unless I've got an assault cannon with me. The old 6-gun just won't cut it against the Knight Errant. Just spring for some APDS rounds, man. You don't need to overcompensate that much. So what now? We just march through the basement into the MTR station? Let's take it slow, we don't know what's lurking down here. Before we head off into the unknown, what are we going to do about the prototype? You need it for your job, and I need it for mine. You aren't the only ones who need it. We have a job to finish, just like you do. It's unfortunate that we can't both get what we want, but that's life. That's how life is these days. You suck it up and move on. Come on, you're well established. You've got a network contacts, and runner community knows how reliable you are. I'm a little fish in a big pond here. I blew this job. I may not be able to work in Hong Kong again. Hell, you don't even need the prototype. Just the damn GPS unit on it. Listen, it's nothing personal, it's just a job. Maybe for you, but for me, it's life or death for my friends. And maybe me too. I'm begging you, give me something to work with. You don't have to be like this. You do me this favor, I can pay you back in the future. You got my word on it. Racto leans over and whispers to you. It's true that we only need the GPS unit. That said, I'm certain I could fix the prototype up so we could use it in the field. It's your call though. We can be good Samaritans, or we could keep the weapon for ourselves. Alright, maybe we can work it out. Thanks, I mean it. I don't like the idea of cheating on a job, but we're on the same team here. We both have to live and work in the same environment. How about this? We take the laser, you keep the GPS, and nobody's the wiser. And I'll owe you one. You call it in, I'll help you out. We'll get friends who can, if I'm tied up. If I'm tied up? Okay, we've got ourselves a deal. They all takes the prototype from you, detaching the GPS tracker, and hands it back to you. Excellent. I'll make sure nobody hears about this deal. At least not on my end. So what now? Do you want us to leave, or can we stick with you until we can get to the MTR station? No sense in dividing our forces. Come with us. Sounds good. Lead the way. Door. Inspect. A piercing howl cuts through the silence of the empty station. It's distant, but probably won't be for long. Better move, and move quietly. Shit, I hate dealing with guard dogs. We need to pick up the pace or we'll be up to our ears in angry mutts. Let's just go over here. Inspect. Let's just take that. Thank you. You know, high-rise buildings, nice big soirees, and for whatever reason, most of the places we go to, they're not exactly heavily guarded, are they? With a whim, the generators spin down and the lights go dim. Damn it! I was hoping I'd be able to get around it. Let's up that. Ooh, nice. Too much damage. But there we go. As you move through the MTR station, several figures move to interrupt your advance. The leader is obvious. A hulking brute of a troll. He cradles a heavy assault rifle in the crook of his cyber arm and reeks of stale cigarettes and casual brutality. The name Steeltooth is stenciled across the flak vest beneath his jacket. His eyes narrow as you approach. What am I going to do? That's enough. That's far enough for you, punk. Steeltooth gestures towards you with the barrel of his gun, taking a drag of his cigarette. My crew's had a long night. Nerves a little raw, you know. And crunching somebody's face always brightens the mood. Let me speak in small words so you don't misunderstand. He takes a long drag on his cigarette, exhaling the smoke through his nose. Give us the prototype laser or we kill you so hard your ancestors feel it. Try it, watch how fast I air you out. Steeltooth snorts, baring his tusks. You could try. Platform 6 is already painted with what's left of another team who didn't surrender. Turns out they didn't have the prototype. Maybe you do. You think you're tough, jackass? I've eaten burritos that's tougher than you. You're about as scary as a pile of wet kittens. The troll doesn't even favor with a glance. Better keep your dog over there on a short leash, woman, or he's likely to get put down. The troll takes one last drag of his cigarette before spitting the butt out onto the tiled floors. Right, cigarette's done, which means your time's up. Hand over the prototype, now. Must be a genius Ares caught breaking in twice in one night. What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. The troll's shifting. Hey, shut up, okay? Just shut up. I was doing legwork, and the suits weren't telling me nothing. So I had to get in and root around a bit, you know? Steeltooth is becoming increasingly agitated. You want to keep your arms? You don't tell anybody about that. I'm not giving you a damn thing. Oh, I see. You want to be a hard case. Is that right? Fine. The troll lifts his rifle, sneering down the barrel at you. Light him up. I imagine with 8 people, this isn't going to be too terribly difficult. Right. Okay, she goes over here. There we go. The MTR train awaits. With it, the promise of safety and freedom from any more unforeseen complications. They all nod in appreciation, extending our hands to you. Thank you for your help tonight. I don't know if I'd have been able to get out of there without you. The world's a better place, is better off with people like you in it. Good luck out there, Jarl. Thanks. I could always use some better luck. I hope yours changes too. You seem like you could use a milk run after that debacle. You keep You keep safe out there, okay? We all gotta stick together. If we don't, we end up with bullets in our backs. Take care, y'all. No, well. Assault. Museum... I'm the player. I'm a terrible GM. Hey, Lady Nightbot. I was able to cut out the proprietary bits for the files we recovered that work a few million, but there were a lot of junk data none of the buyers wanted. I've decided to archive the leftover paperwork, requisition orders, etc. Nothing special, but I figured it'd keep it on hand. Isabel. Go back. Walk away. Alrighty. Save game. I need you. Close up. Alright, so thank you again for joining me. Anyway, thank you, and the Stream Penguin loves you all. Until next time, see yas, and I love you always.